Hyundai's newest electric vehicle is very entertaining, and I do mean entertaining. The Hyundai Ioniq 5N is a track-focused version of the compact electric SUV that's the most powerful vehicle Hyundai has ever made. It has a 601 horsepower all-wheel drive system with a feature that can boost that to 641 in short spurts. This list for $67,475 becomes fully loaded at that price. And this was designed to be a true track car. But it's one thing to make a fast electric car. We've got plenty of those. What Hyundai wanted to do with this was make it interesting, at least for someone who likes internal combustion engines. So it's come up with a couple of neat features to make it act more like it has one of those under the hood. And sound like it does. It has a feature called N-Active Sound, which creates a simulated motor noise both inside and outside of the car. In fact, the exterior speakers can crank out 85 decibels of noise to make it more entertaining for people watching you drive around a racetrack. It's adjustable across 3 settings. One's supposed to sound like a 2-liter turbo, and the other one's a bit more futuristic. And there it is. Bit more convincing than some of these electric car synthetic noises I've heard. But this has another feature that goes a lot harder in convincing you're in an internal combustion engine vehicle. And it takes the single-speed electric motor and basically breaks up the power flow into 8 gears. There are torque drops and little throttle blips with the sound. It does not make the car faster. In fact, it probably makes it slower, but it's all about making it more entertaining. Now you can... a little exhaust overrun there. Now you can leave it on full automatic, or you can take over and start shifting with the paddles behind the wheel, which is what I'm going to do right now. So a couple of downshifts here, coming into the uphill, hard on the gasket, and I'm told there's a red line. It's bumping up against the red line, so I'm going to shift hard again on the brakes, coming into the corkscrew. Oh man. This sounded like it was going to be something silly, but I'm actually getting a kick out of it. Oh gosh, you just got, and 8 speeds is a lot to play with. I mean, it's goofy to a certain extent, but it's also a lot of fun. This adds a little challenge and a little oral excitement. The red line thing is hilarious. Oh, coming through the kink up here is shady. Oh gosh. Now this is a heavy car, 4,861 pounds. The understeer is not so bad, and I really expected the braking to be a lot worse, but it does have huge brakes. The front ones are over 15 inches across the rotors, the rear's 14, and it uses the electric motors for regenerative braking that deliver up to 0.6 G's of force. That's pretty significant just from the motors. I'm going to go back to automatic mode here just to wring this bad boy out, see what it can do. I love this last section at Laguna Seca. Oh, getting a little loose there, and it's letting me, and it's fixing it up for me. I'm sure I can loosen up the stability control a lot more. I'm not going to do that today. My first try on this track in this car. But here we go down the straight, which is not very straight. Top speed on this, 162 miles an hour. I'm coming over the top here around 115. Hard on the brakes into number 2. I'm pretty sure I would leave this on if I was doing laps at the track. The feedback you get definitely adds to the entertainment. I mean, otherwise you drive an electric car on the track and you just hear tires screeching and occasionally a little motor noise, but they're usually so quiet, there's hardly any whine coming from them. I'll give you a little taste of some of the other sounds here. You've got Evolution. Yeah, I'm not sure what that's supposed to be like. And Supersonic. And this is fighter jet inspired. Gonna be honest, I think I like Ignition, the motor noise, the best. So in the N race mode, which is the track mode, there are actually two settings. One is endurance, the other sprint. Endurance reduces the maximum power a little bit and adjusts the battery and motor cooling to give you longer track sessions, while sprint gives you all the power, and Hyundai says it's good for about 20 minutes of track time. And then to charge this thing up to 80% only takes about 20 minutes, then go right back out. Unfortunately, on the road, where you will spend the most time in this, I'm guessing, it only gets 221 miles of range, which probably has a lot to do with its wide body stance and those performance tires. But it does ride pretty well out here, and it has adaptive dampers so you can soften up the suspension. So as I said, this has 601 horsepower and 545 pound-feet of torque, but if you hit this button marked NGB, which is N-Grin Boost, it cranks that up to 641 and 568 for 10 seconds at a time, which is longer than pretty much any straight you're ever going to come across. And then all you have to do is wait 10 seconds and you can do it again. I'm going to do it on the uphill. Oh! Kind of switches to an IndyCar sound when you hit that NGB. Oh, this first kink is so spooky. The car gets really light when you come over the top of that. But it does settle down nicely. I'm astonished at how little understeer this has, but the stability control does a really good job of getting that power down when you come out of the turns. You can also adjust the torque split in this, and there's a full-on drift mode, which I'm not going to try today on this track. So I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. The idea of a performance electric compact SUV, and that is what this is, an SUV, even though it looks like a large hatchback, really did not sound that appealing to me. But these have been some of the most enjoyable laps I've ever done on a track, including this track, which is probably my favorite in the world. I'll be very interested to see what kind of electric N models Hyundai has planned for the future, because this powertrain in an actual sports car body, that sounds like it would be pretty good. Stay tuned for an important announcement. Hi, I'm American Cars and Racing Executive Editor Gary Gastelou. You know, ever since we launched this website and our YouTube channel, our goal has been to bring you the latest news on cars from American brands and cars made in the United States by all sorts of brands. And we've been overwhelmed by the response. So thank you for your engagement and your feedback. And what we've been hearing is that, like us, you're also interested in cars from around the world. And why wouldn't you be? There's some amazing stuff out there. In fact, we brought you a review of the new Toyota Tacoma pickup, which is made in Mexico. And while our focus is not going to change, we recognize that there are some cars out there that are too significant, too interesting, too important to ignore. So I'm here to announce our new occasional series, Important, where we're going to be highlighting cars like the Hyundai Ioniq N. Nevertheless, American Cars and Racing is still going to be your place to come for the latest news about American cars, American-made cars, and racing in the United States. So if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel and head over to AmericanCarsAndRacing.com every day for the latest American cars and racing news.